Music social media sessions, and we're just having a quick chat really about you because you just joined us.
Yeah.
I love what you do. I had a little listen, and I phoned my dad up who lives on the Isle of Wight. I said, you're going to love these guys, they're so up your street. So he's investigating you as we speak. But Country Stormz, you're such a good band. Now, is there 7 or 8 of you now?
There's 8 of us now. We just had another girl singer join, Sam. So yeah, it's evolved over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, really.
Yeah.
And it's got quite a good story, which I think you've probably seen some of it. But the founder members of the band were people that were just wanting to get together before the pandemic. They had things going on in their life that they just wanted music to lift them, really. So in my position, I had my mum's in a care home. My sister, unfortunately, passed away, had cancer. And there's things in your life, the bass guitarist that had problems with his wife, and so it was just a way of sort of a few guys getting together, really, and just playing music. And I hadn't played for 40 years, so it was really long ago. And I'd supported bands like Hot Chocolate and Medicine Head, and I played on some big stages, had a recording contract. But then kids came along and mortgages, and I just sort of stopped everything to do.
Life gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes I think people think they're too old, to restart it all, rekindle it. And I heard a country country artist called Kenny Chesney in America, who he packed stadiums over there. And I heard him on the radio. I thought, I like that voice. And I turned to my partner and said, I need to start a band. I need to get into music to sort of get me away from the stresses of life. And I put an advert on Facebook, 60-year-old guy going on 40, looking for like-minded musicians. I had 24 replies, loads of people. And it evolved from there, really. And some people have come and gone, but we've now got really good musicians, experienced musicians, but they've also got a passion for promoting mental health and well-being through music. That's
yes. I did see that, yeah, and I did look at that, and it's fantastic, because I think if you can do one thing with music, it is change lives for one way or the other, even if it just helps one person. Do you have like specific charities that you support?
No,
we
set up our own organisation, which is the Stormz Community for Musical Arts.
Yep.
So that is really doing well, and that looks like it's heading for charity status. And we did in the summer, we did a summer of fun, about 18 workshops for children with all abilities, special needs, mainstream kids. And we did karaoke clubs. We got them learning instruments, and just empowering children to come along. That was great. And then the other thing we do is we put on shows for care homes, because I used to be an activity coordinator, or deal with care homes, and a lot of them, of course, they all closed down over the pandemic, and there was no live entertainment. There was no way they'd let anybody in. So we stream in really top quality shows, and we use the top tribute artists and a really good studio, and put shows into them. So we're into about 400 care homes. The one that's just coming out in the 11th of November is a Remembrance Day one, which is a clip of things I put together. So the Stormz community is all about promoting health and well-being, really, through music. Just after the pandemic, we put on Keep Wales Alive. So we did a sort of venue with no audience, massive stage and lighting, and invited local artists, local kids to come along and sing and perform. And it gave them a sort of a show reel, for the future, but also got them on a big stage, and that's what they wanted. They hadn't played for a year and a half, 2 years, and it was just to highlight the talent. There's so much talent out there.
There is.
We just like to highlight. So that community has sort of evolved from the band almost.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Everyone's listening to this when we put it on air, and do check out Stormz Community. It's a great cause, and I think helping any kind of charity and mental well-being through music is just one of the best things you can do, because music, everyone can relate to music, or at least most people. They can through the lyrics, through the sound, through emotions. It makes you feel good, it makes you feel sad. There's so many emotions with music, and I think promoting well-being through it is so important, especially after the pandemic, because it's been so tough, especially with musicians. It's been really hit us hard, hasn't it? So very commendable what you're doing.
Thanks. With older people as well, it takes you back, doesn't it? You know, there are certain songs that will just touch you because you remember where you were at that time. You know, you could listen to Bridge Over Troubled Water, or you could listen to, you know, an iconic song, and it takes you straight back, you know, 20, 30, 40 years. And it does. It lifts your soul. And what we're looking forward to now is bringing out a single in January. On January 29th, we go into a recording studio to do a single which is to promote health and well-being.
Yeah.
Raise awareness for mental health, and we're auditioning choirs for that. Before, so it's going to be a big sort of anthem. It's going to be a big sort of "We Are the World" type song, you know.
Amazing.
And we wrote it. We wrote it through the pandemic, and then we changed it slightly to really sort of promote mental health awareness. And that's going to come out on the 29th, and then we're actually going to play that live at a venue as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That's really it's going to be fun.
Oh, get it to us, obviously, as well. As soon as you've got it ready, get it airplayed as well. We're going to play a song, which I'm going to download and play in this little break here, which is Snow Waltzing Matilda. We're going to play first. Tell us a little bit about that before I play it.
Well, this was a song written by Jeff. So we started off doing covers of songs, but we wanted to do it a little bit in a slightly different way, do our own versions of things. And I'm a big Eagles fan, so we were, out of the 8 of us, there's 5 of us that sing and do harmonies. But then Jeff suddenly came along with this song that he'd written, and No Waltzing Matilda. And actually, when we open the set and we play, we do 3 songs in a row before we even have a break and talk to the audience. This is the 3rd one, and it actually is probably the most lively one of the whole set. It gets people going straight away. So. Yeah, it's a great fun song. Yes,
I have listened to it, and we're going to play that now. So this is No Waltzing Matilda by Country Stormz. So check it out, and it's also on YouTube as well. So do play it out. And is it on download at the moment?
Yes, yeah.
So stream it, download it, all that kind of stuff.
seat. There's just one thing. Be no old Matilda. No old Saint Matilda, it's true. And your game's bust wide open. The way that you open our lives. And this seat, just one thing. Your game's bust wide open. The way that you open our lives. And this seat, just one thing.
Well, thanks very much for that. That's No Waltzing Matilda, and we'll be playing it on the radio as well because we're going to get it out to some radio stations. So
Right.
lockdown was obviously a big thing for, especially for entertainment. And well, entertainment was obviously just disappeared. And like you say, you were going online and you were doing shows. How did you find it? Because it's very difficult for obviously a lot of people to get together. So were you recording these shows in between lockdowns, or were you just trying to stream to different areas?
We sort of we were writing stuff and keeping ourselves to ourselves for the first sort of 6 months, I suppose. And then we started going into a big studio where there was only the band and a couple of cameramen, you know. So it was all very, very sort of distant. But we could then do some live streams. We could do some recordings, which were on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I'll thank everybody for subscribing, because we've got 7,500 subscribers now. So we could actually sort of do some concerts. And then, as I said, we did the Keep Wales Alive event, which was, you could only have one band in at a time. You know, it was a massive theatre, so they were so distanced probably, but you know, it kept us busy, and also at the same time it gave some show reels, as I said, to young artists who came along, and there was some tremendous talent, you know, a mixture of talent, but yeah, some sad times as well through that.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult, but you use the time wisely, which is important, I think. I think people have gone slightly mad otherwise. It's very difficult times.
And there again, music, you know, it's amazing because, you know, you're in lockdown and you can't go anywhere, but you can pick up a guitar and you can start singing and writing songs, you know, and I think, you know, that's again, music got us through that, a lot of us through that, you know, that period.
It did. I think people forget how important the entertainment industry is, and I'm not talking about singers, musicians, arts, TV, acting. It's all very important. I think people realised in lockdown they needed all that to get through lockdown in the first place. Yeah,
and what was interesting, as you probably know, is that just everybody was singing. You know, they were so families, you know, family members who you've never heard before were singing to a track, or they were just putting things out, you know, here's another song by Uncle Joe, you know, and some of it was atrocious, but it was fun. You know?
It was fun. It was lovely. It was really nice to see, and it's amazing what you've done. Obviously you said you very much like the Eagles, as do I. So would you say the Eagles are probably one of the influences, because you have a very sort of the big lineup, the harmonies that you've got, who you're kind of influenced by, because you've probably all got different tastes.
I think definitely. I think you know, we had to, what I did is I researched, but after 40 years of being out of the industry, really, I researched on YouTube all the local bands, you know, and what sort of things were they playing, you know, what's going on out there now, and it appeared to me that most of the videos I saw were 4-piece bands, one singer who maybe thought he was a prima donna, you know, a Freddie Mercury, or they all dressed as though they come out the garden, you know, and there was no vocal harmonies. There was no. It was just sort of loud, doing much the same songs, and so I thought, well, I don't really want to go back to playing pubs where you're not appreciated. You know, there's some great venues out there, but you know, when you see somebody stumbling across the front of the screen, you know, the stage, and then at the end of each song, you got sort of 1 or 2 people clapping. So I thought to myself, well, let's try and get a band that you know, musically people are going to love to watch and listen to, as well as just knock back 6 pints and get up and have a stagger, you know. So that was the one of the criteria of as I was recruiting the band members was, you know, the singing, how they looked, how they appeared, and even now, you know, before we do an event, I'm quite sort of strict on appearance, and in my days, you know, you had to look and sound as good on a pub as you did on a big stage, you know. That's what I wanted to keep. So luckily, that they came along and they were singing harmonies, and we did a rehearsal, usually on like a Tuesday, but then a vocal workshop on a Thursday, just to concentrate on the vocals and the harmonies. And so we knock out Take It Easy and Tequila Sunrise and some of the but it gets the crowd going as well, and nobody had heard really of Country Storm, so we could start with some really good, some popular ones, and then gradually bring in our own songs. And there's 5 of them now, 5 or 6 that we do of our own, which luckily go down just as well as the others.
Oh, that's good, yeah, because I think it is, if you could sneak in your your originals through in between other tracks, it draws the audience in, and obviously you said you've got 6 tracks now. Are you looking at doing a whole album maybe in the future?
Yeah, I think that the strategy, we've got a sort of 2-year strategy. So the first year was just to get out and do some warm-up gigs, which we've done. We've done 3. We did one last week at the Acapella in Cardiff, which was brilliant. We brought on a couple of special guests. So we had this tiny stage, and we brought on a guy called Di Shell from Sassafras. It was a band that were huge in Wales 30, 40 years ago. And he was my sort of idol guitarist at the time. He was my hero. He was my Eric Clapton.
Okay.
So to have him come on stage and play alongside us was fantastic. And then we had Bob Fitzgerald, who's done a lot of country stuff, and he's been quite high up the chart. He joined us as well. So that was the strategy, was to do some warm-ups. This year was to sort of do, I suppose, 60-70% covers and then our own stuff. But then the year after is hopefully we'll have 70 or 80% our own material, and people come and see us. We are, You have to fit a bit of someone else's, just to get the crowd dancing and going. But hopefully they're up there by then.
Exactly. Well, look out for Country Storms in a venue near you. So hopefully we'll see you around the UK for festival season next year, maybe. Yeah,
great. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Okay, well, before we go, I'm going to play one more song, which I've got from By the River. I'm actually playing it on my radio show this Friday, actually, on Radio Downtown. So we're going to play that. So tell us a bit more about that one before I play it.
Well, this one is very close to my heart.
Oh, that's all right, you just crashed there. It's that close to your heart, you dropped your camera in excitement. Yeah, I can hear.
You can hear, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so during the pandemic, we all lost, or a lot of us lost people, or we know someone that passed away because of COVID, but also, there are people that come and go through your life, and people pass away from cancers and various illnesses and things. And for me, it was my sister, unfortunately, my baby sister who passed away. So I wrote this song because I believe that, there's always a place to go and chat to those people that you loved and lost, And it could be your dad, it could be your grandfather, it could just be, someone who's died from the COVID. So wherever you go, they're, in my opinion, they're only in the next room. They're just in the next room. So chat to them, talk to them. If you're going to work and you're driving in the car, have a chat. If you're going for a walk, or if you're going playing golf, just have a little chat, because they're always around, and that's my opinion. And so for me, it's By the River, and I go down to the river and I chat to my sister. And so this song I wrote, specifically for her. It does get 1 or 2 tears in the audience, but then again, hopefully it's people can relate to it, and hopefully they'll all have a chat with those that they love.
It's a wonderful song. It's a wonderful song, definitely. Thank you so much for joining us today, Martin. Do check out Country Storms, guys. Check out what they do with the charity and mental health well-being, because it is a great course, because we all need sometimes a bit of help, and through music is amazing. Look out for them on radio in a venue near you, and download some of their songs, because we're certainly going to. So thank you very much for joining us, Martin, and we will see you hopefully very soon. So here for now is By the River. Thank you.
Take you down to the river where the gentle waters that flow. That's where I walk with my true love. It's where we used to go. When I walk down to the river, I can feel you touching my hand. I can see you smile as I stop for a while. I know you understand. Down by the river, down by the river. Every day I walk by the river, let the memories run through my mind. I know you're walking right there beside me. Wish we had more time. Let me take you back to the place we both know, where the fun and the laughter it flows. I could sing you a song as we're walking along, the one that we used to know. Down by the river, down by the river. So walk beside me and hold me close. You're there to be my guide. I'll never forget that smile on your face, no matter how hard I try. As we walk down by the river, side by side. There's a time and place to remember. There's always somewhere to go. For me, I go to the river's edge. I watch the water flow. So meet me there when I'm lonely, and hold me close when I'm sad. Don't ever leave those memories behind. Think of all the fun we had. Down by the river, down by the river. So walk beside me and hold me close. You're there to be my guide. I'll never forget that smile on your face, no matter how hard I try. As we walk down by the river, side by side. Feel your spirit all around me. I know when you're walking along, it's a magical moment when I touch your hand. It helped me to write this song. I miss all the days you're not with me. I'm sad and I wish we had more. But one thing I know is I will meet you again when I'm standing